Today, we're looking at F1 records that are basically locked in forever, either because the regulations changed or because what happened was just that absurd. Let's get into it.
Ever wonder what the biggest race-winning margin is, or how a race could only last a few laps? But with those and more to come, we must first visit a man who recently cemented a record by breaking his 15-year curse. Nico Hülkenberg. Back in 2010 with Williams, Hülkenberg was actually a massive up-and-coming rookie. By the second to last race of that season in Brazil, he secured his first pole position. The problem is, that was his first and only pole position.
How much races did you win?
None yet, unfortunately.
Oh, wait, really? Wait, you didn't win any?
No.
But there was that one time.
For the first time in his Grand Prix career, Nico Hülkenberg now leads a Grand Prix.
Brazil 2012. Considering how rainy it was on this weekend, Hülkenberg managed to end up in first. Well, you already know something happened.
Nico Hülkenberg, who had money on him becoming the leader of this race, and I wonder if
he's lost the lead, hasn't he?
Not our leader anymore.
Stick with it, try and stick with Hamilton, we'll use his DRS.
A spin, but a great recovery. But on lap 55,
Hulkenberg might just go through here and back up into the lead. No, they've touched! And Hamilton and Hulkenberg come together. Damage for Hamilton and Hulkenberg.
Okay, are you stopped? Can you go again? Keep going if you can, mate.
Button wins. Alonso second. Massive.
Driven very, very well, so you can be proud of yourself, mate.
Podium was so close today. I'm gutted now.
Don't be gutted, You've driven very well.
And just like that, his not even first podium, but his first win was snatched away from him. It's been 13 years since then, and this is as close as he has come.
Okay, this Hülkenberg story is already rough before anything even happens. One pole position back in 2010, and then genuinely nothing for years after. And that Brazil 2012 near miss is such a heartbreaker, actually leading a Grand Prix for the first time ever, and then losing it all in one collision with Hamilton.
Right? So this script was originally finished on July 2nd, but at the very next race weekend at Silverstone 4 days later,
no one has ever waited as long to stand on a Formula One podium. 239 starts and a podium finisher in Formula One.
Podium, P3 baby.
I don't think I can comprehend what we just done. Oh my god.
I won't lie, I haven't cheered for anyone like that all season. The madman did it, but that record is now cemented. 239 races, a record that may never be beaten.
Okay, I love that they literally had to update the script because this happened 4 days later, 239 races just to get his first podium. That's the longest wait in the sport's history, and it's honestly such a satisfying payoff after everything we just heard.
But if you noticed, look who was in Nico's corner after he crossed the line. That right there is Kevin Magnussen, Nico's old teammate, a pair that knows each other quite well.
Once again, most unsportive driver, suck my balls, mate.
But also a man who's sitting in third in the record for the most races before their first pole position.
You're P1, mate. You're kidding. I'm not kidding.
Seeing Magnussen right there celebrating with him is such a nice touch too. And it's kind of funny that he's got his own quiet record sitting in that same territory.
It's insane to think Max is on this list as well. But speaking of Max, we need to look at how Red Bull's mechanics are freaks of nature all in themselves. Pit stops. They used to be stupidly slow, but there's always been one team that's ahead of the rest pretty consistently throughout the years. Red Bull. 9 out of the top 10 fastest pit stops of all time are coming in from Red Bull. The old record? 1.82 seconds, but interestingly, not the top spot. 1.82 felt unbeatable, and for 4 years, it was. But coming out of nowhere at Qatar 2023, McLaren put on an absolute masterclass. 1.80.
9 out of the top 10 fastest pit stops ever, all coming from one team, is genuinely ridiculous consistency. That's not a fluke. That's basically an entire department operating on another level.
But technically, a team could beat this, right? With so many FIA regulations to equalize pit stops, effectively stopping teams from coming up with pit stop loophole trickery, it's now practically impossible. For example, each mechanic now has to confirm each tyre is properly secured before releasing the car, just to name one, so you can see how we might never get into that 170s promised land.
And then McLaren just sneaks in and steals the actual fastest one out of nowhere. That's such a fun twist. But hearing that new safety regulations basically make going any faster impossible now, that record's pretty much frozen in place forever.
But in places like Belgium, you'd be lucky to even be out on the track because...
I've never been to such a weather-wise consistently miserable Grand Prix.
Spa. Always a banger of a track when it's not raining. Race day was nothing short of a disaster. Torrential rain had been pouring down all weekend, and by the time Sunday arrived,
it has not stopped raining from overnight through the morning to the afternoon.
It was game over. The track was completely soaked. Visibility was near zero, and standing water made racing almost impossible. But with the fans coming out, millions dumped into logistics to make this happen, and everything in between, you're not going to give up for a little water, right? As the formation lap began.
I already can't see anything behind.
It's pretty awful. I can barely see the car in front at the minute. Absolutely nothing into turn 5.
They are not going to start the race.
This Spa 2021 setup already sounds like a disaster before a single lap happens. Standing water, zero visibility, drivers straight up saying they can't see the car directly in front of them.
Yeah, it was obvious. Multiple drivers were aquaplaning even at low speeds.
It's so difficult to describe how bad it is.
But the red flags were out and the long wait began.
And it's all too much for little Lando Norris.
For hours, fans sat in the grandstands under relentless rain, while teams, drivers and officials waited for a break in the weather.
Daniel Ricciardo doing his bit to communicate with the fan. Now, is he trying to start a Mexican wave?
A break that never came. After 3 hours, the FIA made a wild decision.
The clock has stopped.
We still are bounded by the 6 o'clock.
No.
No, we're not.
No, so basically the time limit is what has stopped.
Understood.
That regulation has just been 6.5 has been overruled, hasn't it?
It seems that way.
Watching fans just sit in the stands for hours, hoping for a break in the weather that never actually comes, is honestly kind of sad. That's a whole day gone for a lot of people who paid to be there.
Instead of just calling off the race, the cars were sent out for 2 laps behind the safety car, just enough to classify the race as having taken place.
It is time to go back to the pit lane again because conditions haven't improved. Ladies and gentlemen, the race will not resume.
Half points were awarded. Max Verstappen was declared the winner, and a new record was just broken. This was officially the shortest race in history. The time, 1 official lap, 3 minutes 27 seconds. But surely that could be beaten with a shorter time. Well, the FIA locked that down from the next season onwards, making a race as short as Belgium 2021 will never happen again. But these are all new rules.
2 laps behind the safety car just to technically call it a race is such a weird workaround, and I get why fans were upset about that. But knowing the FIA changed the rules afterwards so this specific scenario can never happen again, that record's basically untouchable now.
What about a stupidly large record from back in the day that can never be touched? If Stirling Moss was racing, Moss was winning. The 1958 Portuguese Grand Prix was no exception. He took the lead on the first lap, and that was it. 50 laps later, Stirling Moss's Van Wall car crossed the finish line, coming in at a staggering 5 minutes 12.8 seconds ahead of second place Mike Hawthorne. But it could have been so much worse. How? You see, Mike Hawthorne was nearly disqualified for driving against the flow of traffic following a spin, but in a lovely gesture of sportsmanship, Moss defended him to the stewards, allowing Hawthorne to keep his second place finish. Without that appeal, we could have been looking at a chunky 7+ minute difference. But this was nearly 70 years ago.
Over 5 minutes ahead of second place is such an absurd gap for a race finish. That's not even close to competitive at that point. And Moss actually defending his rival to the stewards afterward is such a classy move, especially knowing it kept that final margin from being even bigger.
Let's go back to modern F1, and let me ask you this. What if the sky cleared in Belgium that day? Would that be classified as the longest race ever? You're damn right, and that's exactly what happened in 2011.
The race will start behind the safety car. How quickly would you bring that safety car in?
I think pretty much at the end of this first complete lap.
Me too.
It didn't happen like that. They had 4 whole laps under the safety car, but as you can see, the track was already completely soaked. Sebastian Vettel led the field into turn 1, but behind him, the drama had already started to unfold.
Behind him, we got a McLaren right up alongside, and he touched Mark Webber, and that's Lewis Hamilton.
You can see from the onboard cameras cameras how much of a disaster the rain had brought to this track, and it's clear the cars were falling to pieces because of it too.
There's no question as you see... Oh, no, McLaren's touch! Lewis Hamilton, obviously with suspension damage, puncture.
Well, Lewis just hit my rear. Just to put me in the wall.
Understood.
You can't see anything in these rears, guys.
4 full laps behind the safety car on an already soaked track is already setting up for chaos. And sure enough, it doesn't take long before contact starts happening right behind the leader.
It wasn't just Hamilton and Button that was complaining, it was the whole grid.
There's no grip.
After Hamilton's crash, the first of many safety cars were out, and at 1:45 p.m, the red flags were out. The drivers piled into their respective grid positions. The wait had begun. Hour 1.
Stop to get very wet in my arse.
Hour 2.
Jerome, if you want to get out of the car, Timo's sitting up here in the garage having a cup of tea.
Either you taking a piece of me or the situation. One of it, you know.
Okay, drivers straight up saying they can't see anything is never a good sign. And once the red flags come out, you can just feel this turning into an all-day event.
After 2 hours and 4 minutes of waiting for the weather to relax, the rain had finally settled enough to get the race underway.
We are back, Sebastian Vettel, who leads.
That doesn't mean the race was any less chaotic.
Oh, when we've got the Force India across the grass, we got a Ferrari off. It's Fernando Alonso. Alonso didn't want to yield. Well, that's Jensen's second contact.
In those conditions, I was up on the curb and I had no grip in that positions.
That contact with Alonso forced Jensen Button into the pits with a puncture, dropping him back into last place.
What is going on today? It was one of those races that just everything was going wrong.
It seemed as though his race was over, but as he went into the pits for the 6th time this race to throw on slick tyres, Button showed he wasn't done just yet.
Over 2 hours just waiting for weather to settle is a genuinely long delay, and then the race barely restarts before more chaos kicks off, Button getting knocked back into last place almost immediately.
Button's absolutely flying out there. So last year where he just knocked the front
Mark
wing.
Webber misses the corner again.
Oh, he's nearly lost it. And now it's Jensen chasing down Michael Schumacher, and he will get the advantage of the DRS rear wing. Schumacher's looking in his mirror. Button goes the long way round. Is he ahead of him? Yes, he is. Button up into second place.
This race is not over for the win.
Jensen Button has clawed his way back from last place. The change to slick dry tyres proved to be one of the best decisions of his career.
Look at Button catching them like crazy though.
It's quite difficult when the circuit it's dry, just about the width of the car, and past that it's wet, and if you touch the wet, you're off the circuit.
On the final lap, Jensen was in sniffing distance of Sebastian Vettel.
2 seconds quicker than the leader, Vettel.
This tire gamble is such a bold call from dead last, and watching him actually claw his way back up through the field lap after lap is genuinely one of the more impressive comeback drives you'll see.
Button at 1:16.9, the new fastest lap of the race. Jensen Button driving for his life. Has Vettel got what it takes to hold him off?
I think Vettel's got wide.
Yeah,
he's got wide.
He turned in too late. He got the tyres. Button leads the Grand Prix. Jensen Button, after an awful afternoon with so many things going wrong for him, leads Jensen Button into the pit straight. He wins a brilliant race. It's a sensational drive for Button. What a victory!
With 6 pit stops, serving a drive-through penalty, and through the downpour, Button's win in this race has gone down as a classic for the ages. But how long was it? 4 hours, 4 minutes, and 39 seconds. Funny enough, this was the race that created the 4-hour time window rule that all races after this would need to be completed by.
Winning after 6 pit stops and a drive-through penalty from last place is honestly one of the wildest final results in the sport's history. And over 4 hours long, that's not just a long race, that's basically a whole workday. No wonder that's the record that created the modern time limit rule.
But hold on, Mr. Gridman. You said earlier the Belgium 2021 Grand Prix only had a 3-hour window. You bang on. It was just before that 2021 season that the FIA changed the ruling from 4 hours to 3. It's just pure coincidence that the Belgium Grand Prix was the gorgeous disaster it was. But with this ruling still in place, the Canadian nightmare that was will never happen again. Just like this Verstappen record that he beat the second he stepped into an F1 car. Look at the new rookies in F1 this season. Gabriel Bortoletto, Isaac Hadjar, Jack Doohan, Liam Lawson, but the last 2 drivers are still teenagers. Haas's Oliver Behrman at 19, but even more insane is Mercedes' Kimi Antonelli at just 18 years old.
It's wild seeing how young some of these current rookies already are, and knowing Verstappen basically broke this exact kind of record the moment he stepped into the sport really sets up how insane his career start actually was.
So where does Max come into this? Well, Max holds the record for not just being the youngest F1 driver to start a race at just 17,
Max Verstappen, another debutant,
but also this.
Holding off Carlos Sainz to become the youngest point scorer in Formula One.
7th place is insane, considering he's not even old enough to drink in his own country. He is, and forever will be, the only driver to score points before their 18th birthday. Why forever? Well, it's the FIA again. New rule. You need to be 18 to get your super license. There's no way into F1 without it, as Yuji Ide found out in our video on him that we'll guide you to after this. We're not done with Max though, as we need to talk about 2023.
Scoring points before he was even old enough to legally drink in his own country is genuinely absurd. And knowing the FIA changed the age requirement specifically because of situations like this, that record's not just hard to beat, it's actually impossible now.
One of the very best Formula One cars ever built.
One of the most dominant campaigns in the sport's history. Not only did Max Verstappen win his 3rd World Championship.
Oh my Lord, Max! Yes! Oh my God!
Okay, we've been building up to this the whole video because 2023 Verstappen might be the most dominant single season anyone's ever put together.
But let's fire through the 7 records he smashed along the way. 1. The most Grand Prix wins in a single season. Max literally held this record from the season before, winning 15 out of the 22 races on the calendar. But in 2023,
Max Verstappen wins 19 Grand Prix in a single season.
86.4% of the races he entered, he won. In perspective, Michael Schumacher's 2004 record was only 72.2%. That also ties into his 2nd record, the highest win percentage in a season.
19 wins out of 22 races is already ridiculous on its own, but hitting over 86% when Schumacher's old record was only around 72, that's not even the same tier of dominance.
Little double whammy, but he still did lose 3 times. But look closer. Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan are within the first 4 races of the season, and that Singaporean race was the 3rd from the end. So that massive chunk in the middle was 10 straight Dutch national anthems, the most consecutive wins in any season.
10 straight wins in the middle of a season is genuinely absurd to picture. That's basically half a year where 2nd place was the actual race everyone else was fighting for.
For those who didn't watch the 2023 season, you might be saying, well, okay, did he just scrape by every race? Was it close? No. Hungary, he beat Lando Norris in 2nd place by over half a minute. Spain, 24 seconds.
And it wasn't even close finishes either. Half a minute clear in Hungary, 24 seconds in Spain. That's not edging people out. That's just a completely different level of pace.
With all those wins, breaking record number 4 and 5, the record of most laps led in a season, and becoming the first ever driver to lead over 1,000 laps in a single season. Sebastian Vettel's 2013 dominance, quote-unquote, only led for 65.2%.
Leading over 1,000 laps in a single season compared to Vettel's dominant year, only hitting around 65%, that puts just how far ahead this season actually was into real perspective.
6. Most pole positions converted to wins in a season, coming in at 12 races from pole. Basically, if he was in pole, you may as well just have a battle for 2nd. And funnily enough, the F1 meme page, r/Formula Dank, did just that. Max was so far ahead that people would cover his name on the standings so they'd enjoy the battle for 2nd. He broke the longest duration leading the championship as well, 1st to last. Also, we lied.
And even the meme community picking up on how far ahead he was, covering his name just to actually enjoy the battle for 2nd, that's such a funny but accurate way to sum up that entire season.
I mean, just look at them all. Now, these records could be beaten, but with how much the FIA has smashed down on the rules whenever a crazy anomaly like Max comes along, it's going to take a freak of nature to make that happen. We'll keep you posted though if that happens. The grid out.
Going through all of these back-to-back really shows how many different ways a record can become basically permanent. Sometimes it's a rule change, Sometimes it's just someone being so far ahead, nobody else is even in the same conversation. If you want to watch the full video, I'll drop the original creator's link and channel down in the description. Go show them some love. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.